Nick, she's beautiful. She is? She is. She is.
I keep thinking about you, baby. Tell the others they can go back home. Sick of going through the crazy. Never saw a star till you came along. I feel so in love. I think we're onto something. I feel your touch. I think we're onto something. You're all I want. I'll never need another. You're the only one. They don't make 'em like you anymore. They don't make 'em like you anymore. They don't make 'em like you anymore.
You're gonna be married.
Thank you. Thank you for the confirmation.
Yeah, well, you posted
Hopes of bees.
I was looking at. Are you angry? Crazy train.
Can't believe the time is here. Feels like forever since I got to get down on one knee and ask you to be my life lady. My beautiful bride, my best friend for life. The best things in life come with time and patience. I believe we showcase that in the 1.5 years of being engaged and waiting to tie the knot. We met back in college at University of Oklahoma. Boomer Sooner. We met in sports econ class. We both studied sports management. I remember the first day that we had class together, I sat next to her. And I was like, this will be a good spot for me to sit for class. And then as the next class come by, I went in and all the seats around her were taken. So I was like, okay, well, so much for that plan.
So he moved to literally the furthest chair across the room. Like literally, as I was in one corner, he sat in the absolute opposite corner, as far away from me as you can get. I was like, oh.
At the front of the
Guess he
class.
doesn't like me.
At the front of the class, though, I told myself, I was like, if I'm not going to sit next to the prettiest girl in class, I'm just going to focus on my studies.
Over the time we've gotten to know Nick, he has been a great addition to Erin. We welcome him into our family. And what I would like to do is just raise a toast that the newlyweds have a very long, happy, and healthy life.
I remember talking with Erin on campus for hours after program. It was in those tables in Schooner Hall when I told her about my now husband, Connor, and I learned about Nick. For those of you that don't know, he tried to go by James for a while. It didn't pick up. He said Jimmy. I'm so sorry.
And
Some people have called me Jimmy, so it's not out of left field.
I've never heard anyone call him Jimmy, ever.
Whatever.
So we were both on Bumble back in the day in college, and so I saw this man on there, and I was like, this is who I was looking for on here anyways. I'm so glad he's on here. But it was like pictures of this man, but the name on the profile was James, and I was like, James? I was like, I do not think that was his name. But I matched with him anyways, and then I was like, you look so familiar to me. And he was like, we had class together. But in class I went by Nick, that's my first name, James is my middle name. And so I was like, oh, okay, I thought someone was catfishing me with your photos. But I'm glad it was Nick. And he tried to get me to call him James or Jimmy or literally anything else. I call him Nick. or Nikki or Nicholas, anything other than James or Jimmy. My sweet Nikki, our wedding day is finally here. After 17 months of being engaged and 3 years of dating, you're finally going to be my husband. I can't believe it. I know you're probably rolling your eyes because I was always saying, only this many days until our wedding, can you believe it? And you'd laugh and roll your eyes and say, yes, babe. I guess I just haven't been able to wrap my mind around the fact that I'm marrying you, and that's why I've kept asking if you can believe it, because I can't. You are my dream.
Getting to see this relationship grow from the beginning was truly something special, especially getting to see it through Erin's eyes. I don't know about Nick, but Erin has been dreaming of this day since the very beginning. Literally, she had a dream before their first date that they got married.
We ended up going on our first date to the Mont in Norman, which is a very Norman place, if that makes sense, like really popular. It's a local restaurant. The night before, I had like a nightmare that we were on the date, and I basically said like we need to take a picture together just in case we get married. And I was like, oh, I can't say that on a first date. Like, it was so embarrassing in my dream. So then I was so embarrassed, like nervous the next day. I was like, I know I'm gonna say something dumb. Like I never fails. I always do. And I told him about my dream that I had, and we like didn't take a picture, and obviously now I wish we would have.
As I got to know Nick, I understood why Erin fell so hard for him. Nick is loving and so patient and kind. I knew Nick was the one for Erin when they showed up to my house for Halloween. Erin dressed as Baby, Nick as Johnny, and we spent a good half an hour before our party doing a photo shoot of all of the photos from Dirty Dancing with the arm and the lift and all of the stuff, and Nick went with all of it. He didn't complain about a single thing, and I knew at that moment this was it. Yeah.
There's several instances where I felt like she gave me the I'm your future wife type thing, the type situation. If I had to narrow it down to one, it would be right here on this patio. I remember, I think we were celebrating her dad's birthday in late July, the same year that we became official. And I was kind of nervous just about telling her kind of all, what I was feeling about her and, about our future. And just at that moment, it just felt right. We were just watching TV, probably like a sport game. But we're also listening to music on that speaker over there. Our favorite song came on, and that was Tennessee Whiskey by Chris Stapleton. Fan favorite of ours. Seen him in concert twice now. But yeah, if everything felt right, and then what we did, we were just joking around. We just started like, you know what, we should start two-stepping, Just why not? Then we just started two-stepping and told her how I felt about her. And
He said, I have a lot of feelings for you. He said it like that. And I was like, okay.
But at that moment though, in
Yeah.
my head, I knew that, like I've never had that sort of, I guess you could say, feelings towards someone, or I knew it was really special.
They bonded immediately over many things, especially football. Last year, he watched an entire season of the Houston Texans play football. His favorite NFL team is whoever hires Erin.
You've shown how strong you can be in one of the world's biggest cities, taking on a dream in a city that is too daunting for most to live in or move to. But your tenacity is as big as your butt. I love that about you, along with your loyal and loving heart.
I watched this girl take 21 credit hours a semester in college, work 3 jobs, carry out sorority obligations, and still find time to cheer on the Sooners every Saturday and go two-steppin' at Cowboys.
If you want to know how much Nick really loves Erin, you just go outside and look at his odometer. or his tires. I knew he really loved you when he was changing the oil on his car every 3 weeks.
I would say one thing I particularly am excited about is that we'll be living together in Kansas City. So when we first started dating, February 2020 to May 2020, those were the only months in our whole relationship that we have lived in the same place. The entire rest of the 3 years we have been doing long distance, which has been very challenging, but not challenging like on our relationship. It's just sad a lot of the times, and I know a lot of that has come on Nick, especially with my job I had in Houston. I just wasn't able to travel, work remote, do any of that. I just had a really strict schedule, and Nick was always willing to come down and visit and spend a lot of time with me, and he flew down a lot, made a lot of long trips down in the car.
The best things in life come with time and patience. I believe we showcase that in the 1.5 years of being engaged and waiting to tie the knot.
You're my favorite place and my favorite person. The day you proposed, it truly felt like time stopped. It felt like everything in my life led me to that moment right there in the South Oval. I felt like I had lived that moment a million times over. In every lifetime, in every alternate version of the universe, I was meant to be right there, right then.
As we celebrate this day, the ceremony of marriage in which you come to be united is the first and oldest in all of the world, celebrated in the very beginning in the presence of God Himself, created in perfection and holiness. Marriage is a gift of God given to comfort the sorrows of life, but also to magnify its joys.
Dear Lord, just thank you so much for bringing us here today, and just for the relationship that we've cultivated and shared and grown in over these last 3 years. And just as we head into our new chapter as a married couple, I just pray that you will bless us immensely, Lord. I just feel so blessed, and I know it's all from your goodness, and I just thank you so much. We love you so much.
What God has joined together, let no man separate. Nick, you may kiss your bride. I would like to introduce for the very first time Mr. and Mrs. Davis.
May you hope and dream and prosper, and to each other always be true. Cheers to the bride and groom.
You're going to be a great husband and an even better father. So congratulations to you both, and I hope you have many gigantic children together.
I wish you guys a lifetime of cheering on the Sooners and the Chiefs and singing along to all the Taylor Swift songs.
You're the only one that I need every day. Oh, yeah, you are the best part of me.